if that's what you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, thanks for the congratulations. Obviously, Brazil they had to score a goal. So, and, in typical Brazilian style, they're going to attack. So we have to, it's a game, so we have to counter that. We're trying to score too, but they had a lot we know we would have to play without the ball and just kind of control the game without the ball. And we know we have a fantastic custodian in goal sitting right next to me. So we know that we trust her. So, I mean, and that was the game plan to take away certain areas from Brazil. And then, we tried to get one, and I think we, ended up 0-0. So I think job well done.
Joe Lynch for ESPN, congratulations, Lorne and Rebecca. Lorne loved the cartwheel at the end. Just a question for both of you. Is this the best achievement, the best moment in Jamaican football history?
Well, I will let the pundits, argue about it. But, so, I mean, people will say, but for me to sit up here and say, okay, this is the best. But I can say, right now for the females, we have never had this much fun, and I think the country's awake. So I'll let the pundits and ish this story and argue about it.
Yeah, I think it is for us. I think, we're inspiring a generation for a third world country, and obviously a Caribbean team. We're just showing what, that we're catching up with other teams, and we're showing what can be done. So for us as a group of players and a group of staff, I think we're just leading the way in terms of that at the moment, and we're just showing, the young kids and players out in Jamaica what can be achieved.
Good. Here. My name is Fernando Valek de Barros. I'm a freelancer, work for Estádio de São Paulo, Brazil. Firstly, congratulations for you and for Rebecca, for the players, for the historical moment that you succeed tonight. What was your plan? And of course, the players, did magnificently this plan. And for Rebecca, till when your team can arrive, in your opinion?
Well, I'll go first. Our plan was not to give up a goal. That was the first plan. And secondly was to take away the strength of Brazil. So we limit that, and apparently it worked. Sometimes we get lucky, but apparently it worked out. So that was the plan, just to, try to just keep Brazil at bay, even though they had the ball, and take away their strengths and try to exploit other places. And again, Rebecca will, and then can talk about it some more.
Yeah, obviously it's a team performance from everyone involved, and we were well prepared defensively. I think we showed that against France and Panama in previous games, how strong we are defensively, and we are really hard to beat. And we've been saying all along that if we don't concede goals, it gives us a fighting chance to win games or to draw games. And for us, we've defended brilliantly today, and I'm just proud of every single player. And the subs that came in were great as well. But there's a real family, orientated feeling in our group, and we stick together no matter how tough times get. And against Brazil, we had our backs against the wall for the majority of the game. And as you can see, in the last 5 minutes, we still had a chance on goal. So it just kind of shows you what kind of mentality that we do have.
You are good for penalty kicks?
Me?
Yeah.
To take one?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take a penalty.
Oh, she's good at it. So, she's good at it.
Hi, Coach. Cassie Hood, I'm with the Associated Press. I wanted to see your perspective on, thinking back to the team's first World Cup appearance in 2019 and then to now. What sort of defensive improvements has the team gone through in order to, have these shutouts versus the first appearance a couple years ago?
Yeah, and I don't want to beat this one up. In 2019, we weren't expected to be in the World Cup. We just actually get a group together. The program was fairly new, and we say, "Oh, we're in." And then, but it was the what they would say, the proverbial deer in a headlight syndrome. I don't know if I can say kangaroo in a headlight or whatever here, but so that was and we were younger. We didn't have professional players like Rebecca and Drew Spence and those girls, when we were younger. The Swaby sisters were very, very young. Now they're very mature, and you see what they can do. Denisha Blackwood was maybe 21 or something like that. Even Bonnie Shaw was 21, 22. So it was a very young team. Jody Brown was 16. So, just to name a few, but we were a very young team, and I think we were happy to be there, but this time around we just say, hey, we're just not going to show up. I mean, from day one, we say we need to get out of the group, and everybody said it was impossible. And we said, again, the mentality of us is nothing is impossible. So, and that's why we just stuck together.
Hi, Rebecca Sharina at BBC Sports. Kind of a question that I've asked you in the mix zone. Do you think, if you can comment, is this going to affect any type of funding from the Federation now that you've gone and created history for this women's side of Jamaica? Do you think that will be more pressure from the country?
Yeah, obviously we fight a battle constantly, and for us as players, we've put it to bed for the tournament just to because we know we've got a point to prove, and the better we do, the more pressure it creates, and we hope that they're looking at us and taking us seriously now, which they should have been doing, and they can give us what we deserve out of everything.
And quick follow-up, unrelated. Are your families here? Are the families of the teams here? And are they already celebrating?
Yeah, there's a few families here. Obviously, it's a long journey. And a lot of money spent on families getting over here. So yeah, there's a fortunate few players, families that are here. And I hope they're enjoying the ride and enjoying the journey with us.
Hi Becky, Casey from the BBC. I think I saw some of your teammates shouting, "We told you," at the end of the match. Do you think as a team you've been underestimated here?
Absolutely. Well, you've got a little F1.
What's going on over here, man?
Yeah, we've got
You
cards,
good? Okay,
we've got
just make
cards
sure.
there. Yeah, I feel like we've been hugely underestimated. Obviously, with the noise that was going outside of us playing, and the lack of matches that we had leading into the tournament, I don't think anyone took us seriously. But as a group, like I said, as players and staff, we know that we've got a real togetherness and a family feel within our group. We're resilient, and we had a point to prove. And for months we've been saying it. We're getting out of this group, and we've proven just that. And I'm just proud of everyone for sticking together and having that mentality and mindset.
And could I just ask as well, there's some important days in Jamaica this week. We've had Emancipation Day, Independence Day coming up this weekend. You guys are making history here as well. Do you think it's going to cut through?
Yeah, I hope they got a national holiday back in Jamaica for our performance today. But yeah, I just hope everyone back in Jamaica has enjoyed this, and I know they would have been up in their thousands watching the game. And obviously we had a lot of fans in the stadium tonight. And yeah, I just hope that we can just give them something to enjoy and something to be proud of.
Trust me, Jamaicans love a reason to celebrate. They're going to celebrate like you've never seen, and going into independence, they just finished emancipation, going into Independence Day, it will be a celebration.
Hi, Tamara Griffin with The Athletic. One question for each of you, if I can. Coach Donaldson, on the one hand, we would be remiss not to acknowledge the differences in privilege and resource and access across different teams in this tournament. On the other hand, there have been enough quote-unquote surprises and quote-unquote shocks from teams that people didn't expect to advance to sort of upend those expectations. So my question is, do you think that this is the World Cup that will sort of put to bed the idea of an underdog? And then for Rebecca, I'm curious if throughout this tournament or even leading up to it, you or any of your teammates have heard from players on other teams who are either offering messages of support or solidarity for the fight that you've had to fight in order to get here.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about the so-called big countries and the small countries, I mean, that's a question that's been asked a lot. I think what's getting the so-called smaller countries now, it's not the resources they have, but the understanding, like the coaching, the medical staff, the diets. It's the little things. We still don't have the big things. God, most of the time we can't find a place to train, to practice. We have to search hard. The big countries will have this and big, good facilities to train. We don't unless we travel. So, I mean, So that's still going to be there unless, our federation or the government put it in. I mean, good thing we have somebody like Acidella Marley, who I think will do something for Jamaica. But I would like to see the rest of the countries, the 80s of the world, and some of these countries get the same thing. We don't have it yet. I'm just hoping that, maybe Jamaica do something and people say, oh, if Jamaica can do it, we can do it. So, so the big country will still have the stuff because they have the money. We're not going to get the money. I mean, from the big sponsorship, whether it's Adidas or Nike or whatever it is, they're going to give them more money than they give us. Okay, I mean, what we get from, so from these sponsorship, it's a pittance compared to what they will give a bigger country. So we have to just keep plugging away.
With other players, giving support. Obviously, a lot of us play in different countries and live in different countries. So we've, had loads of outpour of support for us. They're always saying just keep trying, keep fighting. When we posted our statement on social media, a lot of other players did post that and made some noise about it, which obviously helped for us. We're appreciative of all the support that we've got from other players and other teams. And we just need to keep spreading the word so we can get better.
Question for Coach Lord. Throughout this tournament, when we have been seeing these upsets and shocks, one of the defining features of it has been these lesser heralded teams getting these results. They've been able to function and control games and counter without the ball. They've had less possession, sometimes significantly less possession, but they've still been able to get the results. Yourself as a coach, when you're analysing the current state of football and you're seeing these trends, where do you think we go from here for these lesser heralded teams when you're trying to maintain the arms race with these high-powered nations? What's the next step after this defensive solidarity?
Well, I mean, as I say in this game, you got to do what you got to do to get a result because it's a tournament. So, I mean, you try to accumulate points as much as you can. I think that's the understanding in coaching and different countries and the preparation. There's a greater understanding among coaches how they can get. So the countries who say, okay, we got to attack more, whatever, maybe they have to change something. That will also open it up for the teams that are the so-called coming with a defensive mind. We don't come in with a defensive mind. We want to score goals, but you got to do what you got to do if you want to proceed. And it's going to be hard work. We're not going to lay down and say win the game. Okay, we don't believe in that. If you want to beat us, you got to beat us. And then we said, okay, we lose. But the smaller country teams, obviously, they're going to fight for everything. So the trend is going to continue until people can prove it wrong.
Hey, Ellis Lorraine, Babel. Hey, Rebecca. Congratulations on the win. I just want to curious to know, what was your preparation like knowing that Brazil was going to be a team that would attack you a lot tonight,
Yeah, our preparation was similar to France. Obviously, they're both teams in the top 10 in the world. So we know that we're going to come under a lot of fire and a lot of, pressure. But for us as players on the field, the time never seems to go down when you're defending. We seem to just be waiting for that clock to, to get to 90. But yeah, for us, I think we stayed disciplined throughout the game. Our concentration levels have gone up a notch, I think, from before. And you can see that in our performances. We keep going and going right until the final whistle, basically. And I think, the subs that we make as well make a big difference for us. Especially for the counter moments that we do get. But yeah, we prepare, pretty much the same. And we knew that we were going to be in a real fight today. And I'm just glad that, we was resilient enough to get through it.
Hi, Emily Dozier with the Associated Press. Coach, so Rebecca's obviously been such a crucial player on the field, but what has her leadership been like, and how has she really just kind of led this team during the tournament?
We have what we call, because we try to empower our players, If they don't like something, they can just come to me or one of the coaches and we discuss it. We're not the type where, don't come to me, I don't say anything. We're hoping with discussion, whether it's just making a point during coaching. So, the leadership has been fantastic on and off the field, and that's what we want. Even though we have captains, we embrace other people. We have a leadership group, and the leadership, they get, question and answers from the rest of the team, and you know they can approach us anytime. So we trust them on and off the field to make decisions, because I think, you know, I always talk about the football IQ on and off the field. Are we going to make the right decision? Because we can't make every decision, especially in a game like this. Nobody can hear us. You know, I'm trying to talk to Rebecca. I mean, she just said, "What are you saying? Just shut up. Let me play." So yeah, so we know that. But so we trust them. We trust the leadership. So the leadership is fantastic.
Hi guys, congrats. Wade Brown from Ireland, Jamaica. Anyone can answer. Can Jamaica be the Cinderella team for this tournament? And how far can we go?
I don't know. Cinderella wear a pretty dress, but I don't know. I don't know. We're just going to take it one game at a time, you know, and that's our approach. Because when we started our preparation, we didn't look at Brazil. We looked at Brazil 3 days ago. We look at Panama a few days before the game. We look at France, you know, before we play them. We never skip and say. So whoever we play next, that's who we're just going to focus on them. And, you know, and if we can wear a pretty dress, we'll put it on.
Okay, closing with that. Thank you everyone for coming. Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations, Rebecca. Thank you. Let's go. Hi.
Thanks, guys. I saw Cinderella. I saw some. I saw some running around. It was fantastic. It was great.
Stop it. Yes, dear.
Yes, Gregory Simmons here, on live with Eddie Vision. Please like, share the video. It's a great show. Happy to be a part of it.